Straight all day.
You are now tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day, to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative. What is that? That is the go-getter energy that moves any one of us, including yourself, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. And then we put all this together into a series of frameworks, approaches, insights, strategies, and techniques, all underneath the umbrella of one unifying philosophy that is called Work on Your Game. My name is Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today's topic is listen to the marketplace. Listen to the marketplace. What does that mean? How do you do it? What am I talking about? I'll explain in a second. First of all, let me tell everybody I have a daily motivation text that I send out for free every single day to everyone who is in my text community. If you want to receive that text, all you got to do is text me at my text message line, which is 305-384-6894. Send a text to that number right now, and every single day when I send out my daily motivation text, you'll be receiving that message guaranteed to keep you focused, sharp, and on point. The number is listed down below in the show notes as well if you forgot it already. Now, what does this mean, listening to the marketplace? This masterclass is all about decision making as much as it is about business. I had some recent episodes of the show where I've talked about how you make your decisions and how you look at your ideas. Episode 2240, how to identify and delete your crappy ideas. Episode number 2239, how to stop lying to yourself. Episode 2238, what I would do if I was starting in business today. All of these things are part of listening to and looking at the marketplace. Episode 2235, why selling out is actually buying in. Episode number 2233, why you want to be a sellout. Episode 2231, how to get ahead, do the opposite of everyone else. So just a bunch of recent episodes I've talked about things that are requiring you to make smarter decisions by looking at the landscape of where you are and making your decisions based on that. But if you don't know, you don't have a strategy or a formula for how to look at the landscape, then you might not know what to do with this information. But that's why I made this masterclass, so you do know what to do with it. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do right now. Point number one. Topic again today is what is the market? Listen to the marketplace. First point is, what is the marketplace? What do I mean when I say marketplace? The marketplace, or some people may call it the market for short. These terms can get used interchangeably. The marketplace is simply the population of people who make decisions about whether or not to buy into what you are offering, whether relationally or transactionally. That is what the marketplace is for the purposes of this conversation. That is what the marketplace is. Let me see if I can get a definition of this word marketplace to give you even more clear. This says, definition says, the arena of competitive or commercial dealings, also the world of trade. So it's the same thing. I'm just saying it in a more everyday language way. These are all the people. The marketplace is a bunch of people, not any individual, who get to make decisions about whether or not they want to deal with you. All right, people have a choice. The market is the choice. So if you have a car, for example, the marketplace is you and all the other people who are in the market to buy cars, whether they have one or not. You have choices. You could buy a Toyota, you could buy a Mercedes, you could buy a Rolls Royce, you could buy a Honda, you could buy what's the other cars out there? You could buy a Jeep. You can take Uber, you can walk, you can get yourself a bicycle. That is the marketplace. And when it comes to eating food, you can go to a restaurant, you can get a meal delivery service, you can go to the grocery store, you can order from one of those places that gives you the raw ingredients and you got to cook it yourself. You can hire a chef, you can go and eat Uber Eats. You have all these different choices. So the marketplace is everyone collectively who gets to make a decision about where they utilize their resources: time, money, attention, energy, and focus. That is what the marketplace is. And again, this comes to relationally and transactionally. Transactions means there's an exchange. Relationally just means I like this person, I deal with this person. For example, you listen to this show right now. This is a marketplace. There's a whole lot of shows that you could be listening to. There are a lot of podcasts out there. Why listen to the Work on Your Game masterclass? There's a relational exchange going on here. I'm not charging you money to listen to this, but you are giving your attention and your time and your focus. to paying attention to what I'm saying. So you are part of the marketplace for me. When I put this show out, there's a marketplace of people who get to decide whether they want to listen to me or not. So if you are, for example, another example, you're a heterosexual man in the dating market, the heterosexual single woman is your marketplace. If you're a basketball player who wants to get a college scholarship, all the colleges who have available scholarships, they are your market. If you're the local grocer, everyone in the neighborhood who eats food is your market, because they all have choices and you're one of the choices vying for their resources. With this understanding, it is your responsibility and your homework to have a keen understanding of who your market is and what they want so that you can provide it. Everybody catch everything that I just said there. In episode 1925, I told you how to do your homework. Every one of us is selling something. Even if you're not selling in exchange for money, you're selling something. If you're trying to make friends, if you're trying to win friends and influence people, you are selling something. You're selling yourself. If you're trying to get a scholarship to go to college, you're selling yourself. You're selling your skills. If you are in business, literally in business, and you want customers to come and spend money with you, you are selling that. If you are a candidate for employment, you are selling yourself as a good employee and a good staff member who can work for somebody's company and get paid in exchange for it. So we're all offering something to the world. Everybody is offering something. Everybody wants something. This is what the marketplace is. And when we have a recession or a depression, that's when marketplace activity goes down to a level that there's not a lot of activity going on. But as long as there's a lot of activity going on in the marketplace, we have a healthy, what is known as the economy. The economy is when there are a bunch of exchanges going on in the marketplace. A recession is when there are a lot fewer exchanges, and a depression is when the exchanges are damn near dead and nothing's happening. Now, the exact numbers or how much less of each makes it a recession or a depression, I'm not going to try to get into explaining that, but that is the long and short of what the economy is when there's a bunch of exchanges going on in the marketplace. So you want to be active in the marketplace. You make exchanges in one direction, you make exchanges in the other direction. You go buy some bread from the local grocer. The grocer takes the money that he made off the bread. He goes and hires a staff member. That staff member takes the money they make from the job and they go to the movies. The movie theater takes the money they made from that movie sale ticket and they can hire more people to work for them. People who work for them take that money and they go and make a down payment on the car. The people with the car, they take that money and they can go get more parts and they can create a new car. So that is all of these exchanges are happening and they go back and forth. And that is what allows an economy to be an economy. It is your job as a salesperson, and we are all salespeople on some level, to know what the market is for whatever it is that you're offering, and your job is to compete in that marketplace, not to just put your stuff out there and hope that people find it, which is what a lot of you business people and a lot of you entrepreneurs are doing. I know it because I have the conversations with you. Your job is to do your homework and know what these people want, the market wants, so that you can offer them what they actually are willing to make an exchange for. I just had it was someone who had texted me not someone who did text me recently, and they were talking about a book they were putting out. I hear from a lot of people who are writing books or about to write a book or have already wrote a book or are thinking about writing a book, because I've written so many 31 books myself. So I hear from these people all the time, and they talk about the book that they want to write and what the book is about and why it will be valuable and how people could benefit from whatever it is they're going to write in their book. But one thing that I rarely hear from a lot of people who want to write a book, and I'm just using writing books as an example, is they haven't done their homework as to what the marketplace actually wants, and or why would the marketplace want their book. Why would the marketplace really want their book? What I often hear from people is some shallow version of why they, the author or potential author, thinks their book would be useful for someone who would actually pick it up and read it, and the value they would get after reading the book. The challenge is that's not the way books get sold. See, somebody has to decide that they actually want your book before they pick it up and read it. And if you haven't done the homework on how you're actually going to get someone to make an exchange, time, money, attention, energy, focus, for your thing, your book, then it doesn't matter what's inside the book, because they will never have it, let alone what they read. This is why you got to do your homework. This is why you need to understand the market that you are selling into, or understand if there even is a market that you're selling into. Another challenge that a lot of people never think about themselves. And this is the lack of strategy. This is not even poor strategy. This is just a complete void of strategy that costs a lot of people a lot of potential success in life, is that they have no strategy whatsoever because they don't think on these levels with the things that they're doing. You're only thinking about yourself and you're not considering strategically, does this even make sense? That's why I have the Work on Your Game system, which you can get at workonyourgameuniversity.com, so that you are following an actual strategy and not just randomly doing things and hoping that they work. Moving on to point number 2. I'll tell you more about that one later. Moving on to point number 2. Topic again today is listen to the marketplace. Market response is your only KPI. KPI stands for Key Performance Indicator. The only key performance indicator that matters is the response of the marketplace. Not the response of Dre Baldwin, not your personal opinion, not what your grandma thinks, but what the market says. That's the only thing that actually matters. In episode 1930, I gave a full explanation of KPIs. So if you have not listened to that episode, go listen to it so you know what KPIs are and how you can figure yours out. Market response is the outcome from all of your marketplace actions. In other words, if I write a book and I put it out, what matters is not what I think about the book, even though I wrote the book. What matters is not what my next door neighbor thinks about the book. What matters is what a person who has a choice to get my book or not get my book and make an exchange for it, because I'm trying to make a transaction here. I'm asking you to pay the $9.95 shipping for the book. I'll give you the book free, but you got to put something down to get the book. The marketplace response is the person who has a choice whether they do it or not. That's the KPI that matters the most to me. Let's remember, folks, that we are in a results-based business called life. Outcome and results are synonymous. So somebody may say outcome, some people may say results. In this context, they mean the same thing. The most important indicator of your results is what the market is saying to you through their actions, not through their words. Let me repeat that sentence. The most important indicator of your results is what the marketplace is saying to you through their actions, not through their words. The actions of the marketplace are the answer to the question of if they are doing what you are asking them to do based on your offers. So you put out a product, you say this product costs $10 and nobody buys it. The market is telling you how they feel about it. You put out the product, you say it costs $10 and 1 million people buy it. The market is telling you how they feel about it. All right, it is just feedback. You make your adjustments as necessary. So if you are an athlete offering your services as a player, our team's asking you to join their roster, all right, that's feedback from the market. If nobody's asking you to join, that's also feedback from the market. Completely neutral. You decide whether it's good or bad and if you need to make an adjustment. If you are offering your services as a single person on the dating market, are the people who you're interested in going on a date with you? See, you may be offering your services on a marketplace, but if the only people who are interested in you are people, guys or girls that you're not interested in, well, is that good feedback from the market? Is that something you want more of, or do you need to make an adjustment? If you're not getting the kind of feedback that you want from the marketplace, then that means you need to make an adjustment. Not the market needs to adjust around you. No, you need to adjust around the market. Why? Because the KPI is what the market is saying, and it's the only KPI that matters. These are the KPIs to tell you whether or not your thing is working or not. And again, working is based on your key performance indicators. So if you don't have any key performance indicators, then you don't know if your thing is working or not. And is the reason why many people are stuck and lost and not knowing what to do next in their business and in their careers and in their lives, because you don't have KPIs, because you have poor or no strategy whatsoever. And again, this is why I have the Work on Your Game system, so you can actually have a strategy and not just be out here doing random things and crossing your fingers and hoping that something works, which is what 80% of people are doing out here every single day. Trust me, I know. So if the market's not responding, you're getting a loud and clear message that will require an adjustment on your part. Don't be stupid and keep doing things that don't produce the desired KPIs. Now, first of all, you got to have KPIs. Moving on to point number 3. Today's topic, once again, is listen to the marketplace. Listen to what the market is saying. Number 3, your opinion is not as important as the market's response. This is very important. Your opinion is not as important as the market's response. Your opinion matters because your opinion will determine, how much you believe in the thing that you're doing, and how much is going to determine how you present it and how you show up. Because if you don't really believe in what you're doing, nobody else will. But if you really believe in it, you may be able to persuade some people to pay more attention than they normally would, simply because they're feeding off of your energy. So your energy does matter. It doesn't matter as much, though, as the market response. The market does not adjust to you. You adjust to the market. The only time the market adjusts to you is after you've met the market where it is and assimilated yourself to what the market wants. From there, you can possibly bend things to your will and your desire. We just talked about this in yesterday's episode. You don't stand on the outside of the room and complain that the room has certain rules and parameters that you're not willing to match. You match the rules of the room and the parameters of the room, get in the room, then you can make change from inside. You don't try to make the change from the outside. All right, that's why I told you in episode 2235, while selling out is actually buying in. That's where you can make your changes. You get in the room, then you make changes. You don't stand outside the room and try to change it from outside. You ain't even in the room. Many people want to be hard-headed and reject what the market is telling them because you've been taught that the market should, for some reason, want exactly what you're offering. All right, this is a poor strategy. This is an inaccurate formula. If you have been taught, or for some reason you believe, no matter where you got it from, that just because you want to offer something to the world, it means the world should want it. No, that's not the way it works. And if you happen to get lucky and somebody throws you a bone, they give you some kind of a bonus that you did not earn, and the world is wanting, allegedly, something that you didn't really do the work or the research or the homework to figure out that they really want it, all right, don't depend on that, because it's not going to keep happening. And anyone who tells you that the world should want something just because you made it, these are the people who tell you things like you deserve something, or that because you worked hard or because you're a quote unquote good person, that you deserve a certain level of success. All right, they are fooling you, or they're setting you up for failure. They might not be doing it on purpose. I mean, your mom and your grandma, your school teacher, your best friends probably tell you this stuff. Your fans probably tell you this stuff, but they're setting you up for failure indirectly because they don't know what they don't know. All right, they know just as little about strategy as you do. And they're setting you up to fail just like you were setting yourself up to fail. It's your fault for listening to them, not their fault for telling you. The market does not need to want what you're offering. You need to figure out what the market wants, give them what they want, while at the same time giving them what they need. Again, this is feeding medicine to the dog. You make change from the inside, not from the outside. You want to make something that's brand new that the market's never seen before? You do that from the outside. Just understand it is harder to do. It takes more time. You have to create the traction. You have to create the attention, and you must create a marketplace. You must create acceptance from the marketplace for this brand new thing that you're creating, that the inside place already has acceptance. So understand, if you want to create something brand new from the outside of the room, understand it is going to take 10 times as much energy, time, and investment and money investment as it would for you to just get on the inside and assimilate, buy in, rather than stand on the outside of the room. Just know that that's what you're signing up for. Again, I'm never going to tell you that the choices that you make with your own free will are right or wrong. It's just a matter of what are you willing to pay for your choices. That's the only question. It's not that one choice is better or more right than other choices. It's just how much are you willing to pay for the choices that you want to make. For example, if I don't like the algorithm that YouTube is working with right now, or Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, I could learn how to work with the algorithm and adjust what I'm doing to fit the algorithm, or I can start my own competitor to YouTube. I can just say, all right, I'm going to do things my way, and I want the algorithm to favor people like me. Well, which one takes more time or which one takes more effort? All right, assimilating to what's already happening, or trying to make a brand new idea and get the market to decide that they actually want this, which they may or may not. Just because you made something new doesn't mean the market will ever come around to it. Doesn't mean you will ever even build a market for that thing. So you're taking a risk when you do that. So this is all part of the game that you're getting into. And again, you can play the game however you want to play it, as long as you are not infringing on another person's rights. But at the same time, understand that there's a trade-off for everything. All right, there are no perfect outcomes in life. There are only trade-offs. The question is, which trade-offs are you willing to make? I talked about this in episode 2174, by the way. Let's recap today's class, which is listen to the marketplace. This is all about decision making as much as it's about business. Number one, the marketplace, or the market, is the population of people who make decisions as to whether to buy into you relationally or transactionally. All right, anything that you're offering, the market is all the people who could possibly be consumers of that thing. Number two, market response is your only KPI. See episode 1930 for more on KPIs, outcomes and results. That's what we're talking about here. Most important indicator of your outcomes is what the market is saying to you through their actions, not through their words. If you put out to your fans, hey, I might write a book, who would buy it? And a bunch of people say, yeah. Well, don't take that as a KPI. The KPI is, okay, I might write a book, who wants to buy it? And the people who say, yeah, get them to give you the money. Get them to pay you for the book up front. If they don't do it, that's the real KPI. All right, so again, you want to judge people's actions, do not judge their words. The marketplace is no exception. If the market is not responding to your offer, they're giving you a loud and clear message. All right, adjust as necessary. Point number 3, your opinion is not as important as the marketplace's response. The market does not adjust to you, you adjust to the market. So I told you in episode 2235, selling out is actually buying in. Many people want to be hard-headed, reject what the market is telling them because somebody has told you somewhere along the way, falsely, that the market should want exactly what you are offering. That is not how it works. You make change from the inside, not from the outside. If you want to make something brand new, understand that there's a lot more of an investment you have to make to get marketplace acceptance, and you may even need to build a brand new marketplace from scratch. And the question is, are you willing to make that trade-off? Because there are no perfect scenarios. It's a question of what you're willing to give in order to get what you want. All that said, text me to get my daily motivation. My number is 305-384-6894. And if you're ready to step into a system, into a process, I codified everything that takes an athlete to the top 1% in the sports world, and I codified that to how you can create a system and a process and a strategy for the business world and everyday life. It's called the Work on Your Game system. If you're ready to step into that and be coached directly by me for how to apply it to what you do, yes, this is a real thing and it's not too good to be true. All you got to do is go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. Work on your game. Dre all day.